everybody. Luca Mino here with Gregory Ford again. This is Global News Update on TLBTV, where we give you the complete backstage, up-to-date info on the developments occurring in our world today. Why are Greg and I doing what we're doing as co-hosts of this show? And as you know, as a mounting number of other ordinary people are trying to do, and they're trying to scream this out. Let me give you a quote real quick before I get Greg to speak. I have a quote from Jerry Day that I'd like to share. And it's a perfect example of why Greg and I are doing what we're doing. Okay? This is a quote from Jerry Day. Quote, "We, the United States, are going into country after country while mainstream media is strangely silent." And there's a very good reason for that. We're going into Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Pakistan, Turkey, Libya, and others, while we're simply bombing wherever we want to bomb. We're killing whoever we want to kill, destroying whatever we want to destroy, without legal grounds, without the agreement of other nations, in blatant violation of international treaties, back as far as the Geneva Convention. We are the new global villain. Our military, our government, and this corporate deep state that the media seem to be unable to speak of, and there's a very good reason for that too, they are committing these acts of war. Actually, they're war crimes in our name, okay? But they're not in our name at all, at all, at all. So Greg and I are very adamant on that. I just had to throw that in, Greg, and you have some important stuff that you wanted to share?
Okay, sure. You know, we only have a few minutes here, so I'll make it as fast as I can. And anybody that has any questions, they should contact you, right, Luca?
Yes.
So, okay, all right. Is there anybody out there that could believe the tomfoolery, the buffoonery of Mr. Comey's testimony, okay, before the Senate? Okay, it goes something like this, okay, is that yes, Mr. Trump acts, looks, talks, walks like a mafia chieftain, okay? All right, everybody knows anybody that's seen a good Francis Ford Coppola movie knows how they act, okay? All right, I know it was you, Guido. Okay, here it goes, something like this. Yes, Mr. Trump, okay, is in organized crime. Anybody that has ever tried to build anything more than a sidewalk in New Jersey or New York City, New York City, gosh, would know that you have to deal with the mob, okay, to get anything done. Gee, where's his power base? In New York City and New Jersey, okay? So to make a long story short, one of the chieftains, one of the dons, gee, that kind of fits, doesn't it? Donald Trump, okay? Yes, Donald Trump is a thug, okay? He's a hired thug, always has been. Anybody that's been in the states of New Jersey or New York knows that. Yes, he controls the Israeli-Russian syndicate, all right? The Israeli-Russian syndicate, or okay, if it's easier to remember the acronym, you can say the IRS, okay? Get it? IRS, Israeli-Russian Syndicate, okay? I think it should be very obvious to everybody now that, yes, the Israelis are controlling a major portion of this guy. And the thing is, I got this when I was sitting on ground in the city of Samara, when Al-Qaeda moved in next door to where I was in Samara, and the banker, okay, that I had recruited to help us stated, yes, they were there, and my response was, okay, are we in danger of being attacked by Al-Qaeda in Samara, in Iraq, Al-Qaeda, Iraq? Everyone should know that term by now, okay? The response was, no, we are not in danger, okay? American forces, me and all my intelligence associates are not in danger. But guess what? Iran is. Iran, okay, is considered an apostate, okay, an apostate. They don't believe the same way that ISIS believes. They don't believe the same way that Al-Qaeda believes about their religion. So guess what? Okay, within a few weeks, the Golden Mosque of Samarra, that everyone knows from the Bible, okay, the Golden City of Samarra, was blown to bits, okay, by Al-Qaeda. They walked across the 1,000-year-old cemetery, walked across and blew up the Golden Mosque at Samarra, and then the next night they blew up the Blue Minaret, sacred artifacts of history for the Shia, okay, the Shia of Iran, all right? That started the civil war that basically almost got us thrown out of Iraq, all right? That started it. But I was told, okay, now by the person who handled all their gold transfers and transactions, okay, my associate said they are after Iran, okay? Now, what is the first thing that Mr. Trump has said? Yes, we are going to abrogate our agreement with Iran, all right? Surprise, guess what happens 2 days ago, 48 hours ago? Iran is attacked by ISIS, okay? Yes, gee, imagine who controls ISIS now, all right? And they are attacking Iran, okay? I'm getting the feeling that this was the plan all along. As I've always said to your listeners, Luca, I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but it's amazing when somebody's shooting at you every day, how you start to put things together, okay? So, yes, there we go. Yes, Mr. Trump is after Iran, okay, because that is the agenda of Israel. Where we heard the term Israel, an Israeli-Russian syndicate, okay, IRS. Don't forget that, okay? Mr. Trump hasn't forgotten it. And then what did I tell your listeners about a pipeline running that is to be built from Russia, the Pryoshka base in Siberia, very secretive, very hush-hush, by the way, okay, to Anchorage, Alaska, all right? Got to run it over the floor of the Bering Sea, and it's going to take oil, more oil than the world has seen in the Western Hemisphere, okay? And it is going to change the power and alliance, okay, of all commercial petroleum products from the Middle East to the West. It's going to change that. Guess who is behind that? And I can't believe that no one's asked this question before, but it's real simple. Mr. Putin has known Mr. Trump for much longer than anybody has said, okay? Pay attention to the semantics, folks. There was a little school in Switzerland where both parties attended when they were very young, all right? And I know a little bit more about Mr. Putin than most do, okay, from my intelligence background. Yes, they have gotten together. Those plutocratic parties and the plutocratic groups of people that run both countries, they love to send their kids to plutocratic schools, okay? As in our case, Lawrenceville, Wellesley, oh gosh, it goes on, New London, okay? Those schools all deal with the plutocratic offspring, okay? And Mr. Putin is a very sharp guy, and he went to this school in Switzerland. That's where they exchanged ideas. They have known each other for quite a while. No one's ever asked that, okay? This just didn't happen in a vacuum. So what happens? Mr. Trump goes to Paris. It sounds like a book. It sounds like a title of a movie. Mr. Trump goes to Paris, okay? And guess what? He yanks us out of the accords, okay? Uh-oh. Does that mean that there's not going to be any accords on petroleum-based pollutions? Okay. Uh-oh. Now, where was that pipeline going from, carrying petroleum products? Okay, it's running from the Pryoshka Basin, Russia, Siberia is still Russia last time I checked, okay? And it's running across the ocean floor to the U.S. Guess what? Yes, he's making money. Mr. Trump is making money for the Israeli-Russian syndicate, IRS. They have been running the world for quite a while, okay? And in the lieu of all the stuff that wasn't reported in the news last week about, first of all, CIA has contracted to intercept and tap all political doings and dealings with the United States government, the CIA, okay, there's more to it, relax, okay, and they have contracted through the ISI, Pakistani intelligence, okay, I mean, yes, the cocaine importation agency is still there, folks, all right, and yes, the deal was that they would allow, and you have to remember who I've always said is behind the drug importation into this country, the Bush crime family, all right? So what we have here is the Bush crime family directing the agency to work out a deal to where Hillary Clinton, okay, and her friend Humma Weiner, all right? I think everybody knows her as Humma Abedin now, okay, but Miss Weiner, okay, is actually heading up, and she is a triple agent. Uh-oh, how'd that happen? A triple agent answering and running this ISI collective program of the BlackBerry, okay, and the BlackBerry political dispersal of information that Mr. Obama expedited, okay? Everybody knows what a BlackBerry is. Guess what? They are great to collect intelligence on, and they were collecting intelligence on the House Committee of Intelligence, okay? And collection, House Intelligence and collection. So in a nutshell, yes, ISI has been collecting on us so they can keep running heroin, 98% of the world's heroin, into America at the behest of the CIA crime cartel. We wouldn't call them an intelligence collection unit. They just pay others to spy on us and let them in and accommodate them. Just ask the 19 hijackers that flew planes into the World Trade Center in New York City. All 19 have now been connected to the agency. Okay, the agency. Oh gosh, how did that happen? You mean the CIA actually accommodated and John Brennan personally stamped the visas in the city of Jeddah, okay, at the CIA station to let all 19 hijackers in for training. Of course, it was educational, okay, into Pinal Airport, Arizona, where they were trained and paid by Boeing to fly those planes in, okay, and all the responding air defenses were redirected somewhere else. How did that happen? Okay, so yes, we have a situation. Okay, right now ISIS is attacking Iran, setting up a very, very bad situation. Iran's not going to sit there. They're used to having American domination, set up their vicious intelligence services, and they dealt with the Shah of Iran, who was a CIA puppet for what, 25, 30 years. They just got, and the Iraqis just got rid of another, CIA employee called Saddam Hussein. And by the way, folks, I'm going to put this out to you so you're not confused. All right, I just found this out. Like I said, I'm not the brightest, but I sit there and am a little tenacious, okay? Yes, there was Al-Qaeda in Iraq at the invitation by that CIA employee. I didn't stutter, the CIA employee, Saddam Hussein, okay? And guess where their training site was? Balad, B-A-L-A-D, Balad. Yes, there was a training site, and yours truly witnessed two separate things, okay? When he found, along with another agent, found the training center in Balad, on the Balad Air Base, and also a Potemkin Russian village. All right, Potemkin Russian village. Potemkin means false, okay, named after Peter Potemkin, the ambassador of Catherine the Great in Russia, a Potemkin village. I just found out, gee, it makes all sense, is that after the other agent and I reported those to our command, within 30 minutes, a D9 bulldozer and with the combat engineer showed up and leveled both sites. Both sites were gone within 2 hours completely. They were gone. Now, why would, I would have thought, the Potemkin village was a Russian village to help the Russians feel more at home in Iraq. Well, something happened, folks. I was just informed that the Russian village was on top of something very important. All right, very important. It was on top of an underground control center for moving massive amounts of petroleum. Gee, imagine underground operation centers in Iraq. Okay, they only had 85,000 that I know of. Okay, and didn't I report to everyone that yes, that's where the weapons of mass destruction that I discovered, along with the commander, the commanding officer of the fight team that dropped those weapons on the Kurds and the Iranians. Well, guess what? The control center, the bunker for the weapons of mass destruction was on Balad, right next to the planes. They could just load them up in 30 minutes, And the control center for the pumping station for most of eastern Iraq, where most of the oil fields are, 4 times the amount of proven oil reserves in that Saudi Arabia has, Iraq has 4 times that amount, and that's sweet oil. That's not trash bunker, oil. That's sweet oil. And the Russian village, was the perfect decoy cover on top of the computerized pumping station underneath. So does anyone need it? In the few minutes that I have, does anyone need that elaborated on? Why we're back in Iraq? Why ISIS is now attacking Iran? If you want to find out, don't ask our president. Don't ask our Department of Defense. They ought to contact the Liberty Beacon. The Liberty Beacon and you, Luca. All right, to find out why we have endless wars now happening. White phosphorus is being dropped as we speak on the city of Raqqa.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. Yep.
Goodness, Raqqa in Syria. Yes, I know where Raqqa is. Yes, I know where Syria is, and I also know who lives there. Yes, they are. ISIS is the attack dogs. The super military for Israel. And they are not moving west. ISIS has moved about as far west as they want to go. They are moving east now. The Iranians have been terrified for a couple of years now. They have been terrified of ISIS. They're not terrified of American military. Oh, yeah, please cut it out. They're scared to death of ISIS. And if you remember, somebody recruited Mr. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, aka al-Agassi al-Baghdadi, aka Mr. Triple Agent for the Mossad, for the Mukhabarat, and guess what? And then for the agency. No wonder that guy doesn't die. He gets shot in the head and he doesn't die because he goes to the best neuro center in the Middle East in Tel Aviv, to get treatment. All right. Hey, how can you lose with a situation like that? ISIS has Israeli generals running it. All right. Even not too long ago, they even had an American retired general running ISIS. How does that happen? It's simple, folks. First of all, to make a decision on this issue, you better have the truth. And I don't mean some pablum spewed out in the hog trough of government contracts, but you by something coming from the Cocaine Importation Agency of America. That's CIA, by the way. okay, if you want to find out what's going on, have everybody call the Liberty Beacon, okay, and find out. The Liberty Beacon. That's what's going on with Mr. Donald Trump. That's what's going on with Iran right now. That's what's going on with the peace accords. Yes, the peace accords, okay. And hey, let's face it, pick up the news. White phosphorus being dumped on a city in Syria. Isn't that against the Geneva Conventions, white phosphorus? It's funny how that's in our weaponry and our armory systems, okay? It's been banned for years upon years, okay?
And it's an ISIS video, right?
Oh, yeah, gee, imagine, okay? So guess what, folks? They're not moving west, they're moving east towards Iran. And as my banker, Asset, told me, he said, guess what, okay? I got their gold, I know where they're going, they tell me everything. Al-Qaeda tells me everything, okay? It's funny how it all comes down to money, doesn't it? Okay? Well, that's what we have here is more money, okay? So anyway, that's what I have these 15 minutes, Luca. For anybody who wants to listen, that's what I have for my 15-minute update.
And it's really it's really important, and it's beyond a pleasure to be able to do these with you. And I think what we're going to do to finish this off is show you the ISIS video of the white phosphorus being brought down on the village of Raqqa to finish off. Thank you, Greg, and we're going to have our 1 hour show as usual on Fridays, and we can elaborate on stuff like this if it's important enough to do so.
Okay, and let's everybody keep tuned to the new testimonial sequence of James Comey. Okay, I just love this guy. All right, remember 14 years ago, I spent almost a month debriefing Mr. Comey, okay, about weapons of mass destruction, torture, political assassination, okay? Now, and there he is every day for the entertainment of the American people, okay? Talking about Mr. Trump. How did we get into these straits? That's what my big question is, Luca. Ask your listeners, how did we get here? We've got a bloodthirsty, murdering, lying, thieving bitch who ran for presidency. I think I can say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's legitimate, okay? Who has sold out American interest to any intelligence agency, that will pay her money, who has set up a deal to send Stinger missiles everywhere for a fee, okay? We've got to admire her for that, for a fee. And then on top of that, people are dying as a result that try to testify against her, that are dying, and then she proceeds to set up and invite onto U.S. soil an intelligence agency, okay, because she's been with the CIA, she could do this, okay, and who's spying on Americans, and then she sells Vladimir Putin 20% of our radioactive isotopes. How did this happen? Where is the Justice Department? Where is the FBI? They ought to ask James Comey that. Where is the FBI? All right. So
they're all in bed together anyway. So
tell everybody thank you. It's always appreciated their listening time.
And now I can't talk because I can't get you going again. So we'll talk again. Thank you, Greg.
Okay. All right, Luca. My pleasure.
Bye.